accused of murdering 20-year-old Anna M. Olesiewitz of Camden on August 27, 1982. Miss Olesiewitz was shot in the head. Teresa Smith, Biegenwald's former girlfriend, who lived with him at the time of the murder, took the witness stand today. What follows are excerpts of her testimony.
And how often do you use drugs?
I don't use drugs.
You don't use them anymore at all?
No.
And the time that we were talking about, Mr. Fagan was asking questions in the 1982 time sequence. How often were you using drugs then?
Pretty often.
Well, how often is pretty often?
Pretty regularly.
Every day?
Yes.
And what drugs were you using every day?
I was using speed then.
Speed?
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the fact that you are familiar with these particular guns. I think you referred to that as a 22 short.
Yes.
You fired that gun, haven't you?
Yes.
Numerous occasions?
No.
You fired it in New Jersey, haven't you?
No.
You never fired it in New Jersey?
No.
You fired it in Staten Island?
Yes.
You never fired it ever in New Jersey?
No.
Now, the Fitzgerald's weapons that you said you were familiar with,
Yes.
I think you mentioned a machine gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
fired that too, didn't you?
Yes.
Where'd you fire that?
In New Jersey.
And that was Fitzgerald's weapon, right?
Yes.
But he let you fire it, right?
It was Rich's idea.
But Fitzgerald let you fire his weapon, is that correct?
Yes.
He was present, right?
Yes.
Now, you were pretty familiar with Fitzgerald, weren't you?
I didn't know him very well, no.
You didn't know him very well?
I didn't know him like a book, no.
Well, you say you didn't know him like a book. You were familiar with his apartment, aren't you?
Yes.
Familiar enough to tell the police that he had a secret hiding place there, right?
Yes.
And could you describe that secret hiding place?
It was just like a hole in the wall behind a mirror.
And what was the purpose of that hiding place, if you know?
That's where he used to grow pot.
What?
That's where he used to grow marijuana.
For marijuana. Was that also a place that he could hide in case he ever was in threat of being arrested?
Well, the only reason why I told him about that room is just because I knew there, but he never told me he hid there, no.
And you discussed Mr. Fitzgerald's background with him, hadn't you?
Only parts.
He had told you he was a mercenary, right?
No, he never did.
Never told you that?
Nope.
He showed you the Ingram, right? The machine gun?
Yes.
Did he tell you that that gun could kill a lot of cops? Wasn't that his expression?
Well, to tell you the truth, Rich is the one who said that.
You sure Richard said that?
Yes.
Okay. And that was set in your presence?
Yes, up in my apartment.
All right, fine. Now, you stated that sometime that evening when you got up and went to the kitchen, you looked outside and saw the Valiant, right?
Yes.
Your car.
Yes.
And you stated before that everybody in the house had access to that car on some basis or another, right?
Yes.
Including Fitzgerald, right?
Yes.
And you looked in the car and you saw somebody there, but you couldn't determine the sex, whether it was a male or female, right?
Yes.
The person was alive, though, right?
I imagine.
It was moving, right? The person was in
It
the
was
car?
just sitting up.
Could have been Fitzgerald, right?
I really don't know.
You don't know. That's possible, right?
Well, when she says she don't know, anything else follows that is possible.
And there came a time the next morning when you say that you came across this body in the garage, right?
The next evening after work.
Next evening? And you touched it?
Yes, I did.
And what was your reaction to touching that body?
How did I feel?
Yeah.
Sick.
Sick? Did you throw up or anything?
No.
Did you run away?
No.
Now, you mentioned that there were rings on the body, right?
I didn't see anything.
You didn't see any rings?
I said I didn't see any other jewelry on the body.
But there was rings, right?
All I know is what Richard told me.
Isn't it a fact that you saw a ring on your body and said you wanted that ring for yourself?
No, that's not.
You never requested to have that ring?
No.
Supposedly, based on your statement before, Mr. Biegenwald gratuitously gave you this ring for no reason?
He gave me the ring.
For no reason?
Judge, I object. She wouldn't know the reason.
I'll sustain the objection on that basis. One doesn't know what motivates other people. I'll sustain the objection.
Did you have any reason to know what the motivation was for Mr. Biegenwald giving you that ring?
I don't know.
Isn't that a fact that the motivation was that you liked the ring when you saw it on the body?
I never saw the ring on the body.
This is a ring you wore for a whole month? I'm sorry. This is a ring that you wore for a whole month, right?
I wore the ring.
Did you like the ring?
Yes.
So you wore it, right?
Yes.
Now you saw the girl lying there dead on the floor, and it made you sick, you say.
Yes.
But you still wore her ring for a whole month?
Yes.
Does that seem reasonable to you?
The jury will disregard that question. It's an improper question.
The Richard Biegenwald murder trial will continue tomorrow in the courtroom of Superior Court Judge Patrick J. McGann. For TV 34 News Brief, I'm Bob Hartman reporting. Good evening, I'm Bob Hartman for TV 34 News Brief. The Richard Biegenwald murder trial continued today in Freehold, New Jersey. Biegenwald is accused of murdering Anna Olesiewitz of Camden, New Jersey, back in August of 1982. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from Teresa Smith, Biegenwald's former live-in girlfriend. Smith's present fiancé, George Susco, took the stand after Ms. Smith. What follows will be excerpts from Mr. Susco's testimony. And then you'll hear today's testimony of Detective Kevin Quinn of Ocean Township, who searched Biegenwald and Dherran Fitzgerald's apartments after their arrest in Asbury Park. And then you will hear the testimony from the state's star witness, Dherran Fitzgerald, who helped Biegenwald dispose of the dead girl's body.
There come a time when she stayed over at your place in Bradley Beach.
Yes.
When was that?
Sometime in October
Of '82?
'82.
Did Teresa Smith ever discuss with you a body of a young female in the garage of 507 6th Avenue in Asbury Park?
Yes.
When was that?
That was also during October and November. I don't know exactly when.
How did that come about?
Well, we were out, and at that point we had gone out maybe 2 or 3 times, and she just told me a few things that led up to her telling me about the body. So that was, it's just really like she just was letting everything out at one point.
Do you recall where you were?
Yes.
Where?
At Pete and Elda's in Bradley Beach.
What is that?
It's really a pizza place.
What did you tell her when she told you this?
What do you say?
That's what I'm asking.
I didn't say hardly anything. I mean, it's not like a normal conversation. I didn't need anything.
Did you believe it?
It was very hard to believe, yes.
Well, my question to you is, did you believe it?
Not at first.
Did you have further discussions with her in connection with this?
Yes.
And when would those have been?
Almost constantly after that.
Let me ask you this. Did there come a point in time when you believed her?
Yes.
And give me a time frame as to when we're talking about now.
It's difficult. I would say in the beginning of November, maybe.
You're not sure of the
I'm
dates?
not positive.
All right. Did you ever tell anybody about this?
No.
Why not?
Truthfully,
That's what I want.
I was afraid that until I knew for sure that there would be no problem, I mean, after hearing all this, or what I heard, obviously I was afraid of Mr. Biegenwald for whether her or myself or my son. So it's a difficult situation. I've seen, whether it's in movies or in newspapers, so many times when the police are told, and knowing me not believing it, I thought, well, if they don't believe it right away, we're in trouble. Or if they just questioned him and that was it.
I'm going to show you what's been marked S10 for identification, which is, I believe what you've said to be the 22 short by the bed of Mr. Fitzgerald. Is that correct?
Correct.
Any of that ammunition found in Fitzgerald's drawer, any of that ammunition fit that gun?
No, sir.
What area is this?
Okay, this is the basement bedroom area under, of Mr. Biegenwald. Now we're looking at the vanity with the jewelry box on it, various items that are on top of the vanity. And that's the drawer, the jewelry box